It's 1 p.m. Good afternoon. You're watching the latest on Headlines Today. I'm Amita Vadva, and now let's cut across to Bengaluru, where BJP leader Nirmala Seetharaman is addressing the BJP National Executive in Bengaluru.
In a way, the steps that the government have been taken have all been mentioned. The initial steps have very clearly revealed that the efforts are going towards empowering the poor as opposed to empowering poverty by the Congress. Poverty continued in spite of that call that was given by Srimati Indira Gandhi. Garibi hatao. But the way in which administration ran under the Congress, they only empowered poverty, did not empower the poor. Whereas by the Janata Yojana, by the direct benefit of cash transfer, 50% reduction in LPG prices, and the way in which directly the poor are being given the benefits, we have shown initially and continue to show after the government has been formed a commitment to empower the poor and remove poverty. So these are essentially captured in the political resolution. We think the crisis of credibility which prevailed during the Congress rule is being effectively now addressed, that people have hope, people are looking at this government for improved and quick changes so that the benefits will accrue to all and sundry, and that suits with the political agenda of BJP, because in this year, when we are going to mark the centenary celebrations, we are going to have the centenary celebrations of Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya on two major pillars. One, to highlight the essential principle of Ekatma Manva Darshan that he had spoken about, which will be a big campaign from this year for a whole year. And second, to highlight the fact that which he spoke about, the last man in the in the queue to develop Antyodaya that we talk about. That Antyodaya will receive highest priority of this government, because we would like to see smile on that last man's face. And that was the dream of Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya, and that is how we shall be moving. In fact, if many of you all noticed, and with that I would end my initial opening remarks. If you'd noticed, the National Executive is happening with a banner at the back, which very clearly has one-line message, Antyodaya Hamare Sankalp. That is the message which this National Executive underlines through its political resolution. Every act of the government will be focused, and therefore any disinformation campaign which says, oh, this government is only working for the rich or the big business, or it is only doing this land reforms business to give away the benefit to the the richer class, are all going to be very clearly, pointedly, and with explanations answered by each one of us in the BJP. We shall not allow this disinformation campaign, which is absolutely baseless, because if ultimately we have to question the Congress, we shall. I don't want to get into the details, but it might be of interest for you all. Where was the SIA and where was the clearance from the, no objection from the people when the patrol blocks were allocated on priority basis? So the disinformation campaign prevailing by the, or continuously being carried forward by the opposition party will be met with, and that is the spirit with which the political resolution has been presented. I'm sure with the Shri Arun Jaitley giving the concluding remarks on it, the political resolution will be passed. So Antyodaya Hamare Sankalp say we start and we aim towards Rashtra Abhyuday. So that is the political Rashtra Abhyuday list. So that is the spirit with which the political resolution has been taken up. If there's anything else that you want to know. No. As I left from there, the political resolution was being discussed. Inputs from all the members were being taken, which is a normal process of discussing any resolution, post which Shri Arun Jaitley would conclude or reply to the resolution and the suja which comes from the members, after which the Prime Minister's speech was to start.
Madam, yesterday National College ground.
I can't see who's asking.
Here.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yesterday, National College ground, there is a veteran leader was sitting next to the President and the Prime Minister. They facilitated with the Prime Minister and the President.
Sorry, would you want to just be open? I'm unable to follow cryptic questions.
Yesterday, in National High School grounds, there was a massive rally in the BJP.
Right.
There are 3 stars sitting in the dais, where you refused to facilitate Advani. You are facilitated Mr. Prime Minister and the Rajnath Singh. Sorry, Amit Shah. You were ignoring Advani.
What is facilitation?
There is huge facilitation yesterday.
Felicitation. Yeah. I heard it as facilitation. Sorry, yeah.
So why you were ignoring Advani yesterday?
I absolutely disapprove this question. You're welcome to ask it. Manya Advani ji is our senior most and respected leader. He's here with us. He's continuously here with us, seated in the dais.
But he was addressing more than 15 rallies in Malaysian National High School grounds. But he was one of the senior most leader in our party. Since you are only facilitated Mr. Prime Minister and Mr. Amit Shah, is it ignoring? This is what the people of Karnataka.
I've given you an answer. I don't want to get into an argument with you, but I've given you my answer. He's here, he's with us, and he's the most respected Margadarshak of our party. He's with us in the National Executive. I don't know what interpretation you're giving. I don't agree with it.
मैम क्या अडवाणी जी ने संबोधन किया?
नहीं, अभी प्रस्ताव पॉलिटिकल प्रस्ताव चल रही है. Yes. I have left halfway through, so I wouldn't be able to say what kind of suggestions have come on which aspect of the political resolution. So I might have to go back to get you an answer.
जब दिल्ली में राष्ट्रीय कार्यकारिणी की बैठक हुई थी, उसमें अमित शाह ने कहा था कि कांग्रेस मुक्त भारत के अभियान को आगे बढ़ाना है. क्या आप ये मानते हैं कि दिल्ली में पार्टी की हार के बाद आपके इस अभियान को झटका लगा है? और दूसरा, जो भूमि अधिग्रहण कानून में संशोधन का सवाल है, क्या पार्टी ने एक हाई रिस्क लिया है, क्योंकि इसके बाद बिहार का चुनाव है, पश्चिम बंगाल का चुनाव है, और क्या इस पे जब चर्चा हुई, क्या जो कुछ पार्टी की तरफ से चिंताएं भी प्रकट की गई इसको लेकर जो कैंपेन चल रहा है?
नहीं, चिंता, if there is any, is on the disinformation campaign, which goes against the facts which we are bringing in the land relief rehabilitation bill. But when the land, if you're looking at just that aspect of the political resolution, I would want to say, we are confident that the amendments that have been brought by us and the Prime Minister directly engaging with people, explaining the points as was done during the Man Ki Baat in the radio, and also when repeatedly we are saying we are willing to discuss with anyone if there is anything that they specifically want to say is anti-farmer. We have not had any such specific anti-farmer points, and the 9 amendments which we have brought in are things which we want to go to the people to say, are these anti-farmer? They are absolutely amendments which are critical to the bill, even as they address issues which have been raised during the discussions. So with these amendments, when this act is being strengthened, where is the campaign's basis coming from? So the disinformation campaign, which particularly the Congress wants to spread, even as they are unable to answer questions as to how and when they obtained NOC, or the SIA, when they distributed all the coal blocks to their favorites, what is the kind of prachar that they want to do? It is a situation where cooperative federalism is appreciated, not just because we accepted the 14th Finance Commission's recommendations, but the fact that Every step of what we are doing is being explained to the states. Even in this Qanun, even as it is in a concurrent list, the states could bring their own rules to make it, if they think, a more, amenable, friendly, whatever, Qanun. But to oppose it without giving us specific objectionable points on which we are ready to answer, engage in a dialogue, just very clearly shows that the opposition is for mere opposing rather than asking for substantive answers. But the BJP, after this national executive, is going to definitely, at every village level, go reveal the facts to the people. That we have come up with a law which is going to help the farmer, help every citizen. To deny, to talk as though the farmer is separate from the rest of the society. Wouldn't the farmer need irrigation for his lands? Where will the land come for doing any irrigation project? If we are constantly pitting arguments to say, no, this Qanun can't come through. Even the farmer wants better irrigation facilities. Farmer wants Bijli. So, the political resolution, its contents are being discussed. Land reform is not just the one thing in it. There are very many aspects. Very clearly we are saying that we are bringing a transparent, well-focused government which is going to take on board every concern of the poor, and especially because it's dear to us from the point of view of Antyodaya and Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyaya ji's centenary celebration which is going to start. So this is a government which is committed to achieving the dreams of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyaya, who wanted a smile on the face of the last man who's waiting for development to reach him.
Nirmala ji, one question that I have related to this. You said that social impact assessment and also the fact that, consent are two things on which you can defend the bill when you go to the farmers. Can you explain what are the grounds on which these two contentious elements of SIA and consent will be explained to the farmers?
I partly did that now. And
no, I mean,
I will do it a bit. But I also want you to take on board the fact, before I answer your question, that it's not just land reforms bill which marks the political resolution. There's a lot more to the political resolution. I don't want you all to miss that point. But as I said, if you're looking at causes for which you need land, and if you're going to look at constraining it from the point of view of a long-term project which is necessary for, let us say, building a thermal power station or a nuclear power station, within 5 years you have to have the consent and also start working on it. Is it going to be possible? You have to go back to the people to speak about it, take them on board. But it cannot be such a restrictive clause that end of the day you're not even going to have the project. So there are important aspects of it which will have to be explained to the people. Defense installations. Are you going to say this is what is the whole objective of this particular project and therefore wait for a consent and reveal the whole thing of national interest? So nationalism, national interest is also a factor which has to be explained to the farmer. And in any case, let us not forget that you're not going to procure fertile lands. You're looking at with the priority of Banjar Bhumi.
Ma'am, I have two questions. One, as a party functionary, what would be your takeaway from this 2-day national executive? One. And the second is, BJP was and the government also was very concerned about the misconception or the perception which went wrong over the land bill. Are you confident that these 2-day deliberations have helped to remove that from the minds of the party workers who are come from different parts of the country?
Absolutely.
I have a related
Point.
in the sense that it's specific to land bill. Just as the party will be going out and speaking to people and connecting with the farmers to counter the misinformation that has been going on about it, have ministers of the, people like you who are ministers of the government, part of the party and, responsible for bringing the bill, have you all also been given the responsibility of whenever you people go out and on a public forum and speak in this, while this land bill issue is going on,
that you will also take it up with people?
Well, specifically, no instructions have been given to the ministers. But of course, after this national executive, because the details, in fact, a detailed presentation, other than the political resolution, a presentation on the land reforms bill was made, and the PowerPoint presentation went point by point to explain what it is all about. So the members of the national executive were fully briefed on the amendments, the strengths, that the intention of the government and the intent of the government to engage with opposition, to convince or to answer questions, have all been absolutely explained to every member of the national executive. Hopefully, therefore, all members would be going to explain to the people in their respective areas that the intention of this government is only to help the farmers and be consistent with its developmental policies. We are not going to be talking as though the farmers outside of this debate, we are going to take care of him. At the same time, let us also recognize the fact that unless there is development, unless there is irrigation, unless there is power generation, even the farmer is not going to benefit. So we are going with so other than the political resolution having an aspect of it, there was definitely a presentation made, a PowerPoint presentation made, giving the details of what this government has proposed in terms of the amendments.
Nirmala ji, one part of the land acquisition bill was convincing your own party, or explaining, let me not say convincing, but explaining and elaborating on the contentious issues which the national executive seems to have done. The other part is the allies. You know, Ram Vilas Paswan seems to be the only alliance leader who is openly batting for the bill. The Shiv Sena continues to articulate its reservations. So will a similar exercise be done with the allies, to take the allies properly on board, convincing them about the various elements of the bill?
Obviously, because we believe that our intentions in this bill is to take everybody on board, not to hurt anyone, work for the interest of the farmer as much as seek land when it is necessary for development. So certainly, when we are eager and also keen on wanting to engage with opposition, why wouldn't we want to engage with our own alliance partners? We will certainly be talking.
निर्मला जी,
Yes, ma'am.
निर्मला जी, ये लोकसभा इलेक्शन के बाद जब बीजेपी की जीत हुई थी, पहली राष्ट्रीय कार्यकारिणी है बीजेपी की।
नहीं, ओके,
परिषद थी। यहाँ पे चाहे अमित शाह जी का भाषण हो या फिर आपका विदेश नीति का प्रस्ताव हो या फिर